Welcome to the Reddit Robot YouTube channel. I'm the Reddit Robot, the robot who reads Reddit to you. This one is entitled. Entitled parent tries to sue me when I defend myself after her daughter attacks me. First, I would like to note this is not my story. Both parts have been posted on Rentiplicates. Original Part 1 and Original Part 2. This is Part 1 and Part 2 including all edits. I have fixed some grammar and spelling mistakes I noticed. The op of this story is Talba, please go and give her a follow. This story all begins last year when I was a senior in high school. I have a lot of stories about high school, but those are other posts for different days. Strap in. It's a long story. Here's the cast. Eliza, little friend M. Entitled Mother B, the female dog that hit me M. Mother F, friend P, principal baby's boyfriend me, B, silly. But when people say my name, I'll be referred to as Alba, my last name.
So for a start, let me describe myself.
I'm a Korean-Irish girl, and I have what people call a ballerinous body, but I have strength in my arms and fists primarily. I also had after this all went down, semi-curly hair that was down my back. I'm pretty extroverted, so I had many friends in school, and was one of them when I was a sophomore. But when junior year rolled around, I noticed that it was very toxic. She started to control where we would go in the mall, when we hung out, where I sat in the cafeteria during lunch, stuff like that. She also acted like she was superior to other people. Many people didn't like her and complained a lot. So naturally, I started to distance myself from her because, 1, I didn't like that type of behavior, and it was annoying, and 2, I didn't want people I met associate me with her and think that I acted the same way she did. Did not like this. I guess she liked being in control somewhere in a relationship. They didn't have many friends to begin with, so when I started not being her friend, she had nobody to hang out with. During winter break, I learned that she started hanging out with this guy in one of my classes, but I didn't care too much because I didn't know him. By the time we came back from winter break, they were making out in the halls, very touchy-feely with each other. Skip to summer of 2017. I saw them literally everywhere I went. I went to the fair, and they were there too. I once went to the mall to get a custom-made umbrella for my cousin's birthday. I now wear it, but my cousin has a knack for collecting umbrellas, and lo and behold, Boo walks in with her boyfriend in tow and walks up to me and says, "Oh, hey, Alba, didn't know you'd be here." And I was very confused. Now, Redditors, what would a 17-year-old girl and her boyfriend want from a custom shop that only sells umbrellas and other winter items in the middle of summer? And I also knew that she wasn't invited to my cousin's birthday because she didn't even know my cousin. By that point, I was convinced she was following me around. Senior year swings around, and starts trying to talk to me again, and I was having none of it, considering the obvious reasons. Then, the day before spring break, she said to me, "B, Alba, I've seen that you've been ignoring me, and I really don't appreciate it. I am such a good friend."
Me? Honestly, P, you really not.
You kind of manipulative. B, how can you say that? I'm really good to you. Me? I beg to differ. Then I walked away. She would shoot daggers at me when I saw her after that, and was also extremely jealous. When saw talking to a girl, she would walk up to him and say, "How could you cheat on me with this slut friend who was still semi-friends with B, had this story sent to her by. Basically, he posted a story on his Snapchat that said, "With the most supportive person in my life," over a picture of him and a girl, and went nuts. She complained too that her boyfriend was cheating on her with who she called that ugly whorebag. Turns out that was his sister. Fast forward to May of 2018, when the crippity crap hit the fan. I was partnered up with in my chemistry class that we had together. Learned about this and went berserk. She had the nerve to come up to me and say, "Keep you filthy racist hands off of my boyfriend, slut." But keep in mind, she was completely Caucasian, maybe too of any other race, but very white. And I have never been racist towards anyone, unlike her. She's called my eyes chump slits, and also called me drunk ginger, and I'm the racist one. So a week after that happened, I had to come over to my house to finish the last part of the project. Turns out was planning to go to the mall with that day, but he had to cancel to come to my house. He was steaming. So the next fateful day, I was in class with Bang and we turned in our project. We were talking about what grade we'd think get. When we came in with these big-ass scissors, neither or me saw her coming. That day, I was wearing my hair in a low ponytail. At this point, I was growing out my hair, and it was very important to me since I had to shave my head in 8th grade after an accident. I had a hard time reviving my locks, and I was proud until then. So, on account of friend, who was also in the class and came up behind me, pulled my hair, and cut it to about shoulder length. At first I didn't know what happened, but when my brain had processed my snip sound, I knew what had happened. I whipped my hair around and stood up, and there was B holding my hair in one hand, and then scissors in the other. Here's the dialogue. "Me, did you just cut off my hair?" A then dropped my hair on the floor and said, "That what you get for sleeping with the boyfriend, bitch," then proceeded to slap me across my face. It didn't hurt, but I was angry. I looked down at B's hand, and it looked like she was getting ready to hit me again. So I did what was necessary and hit her square in the nose. All I hear was a deafening crunch, and her hitting the laminate. Then she started screaming. She hit me, get her arrested. Next thing I know, I was in the principal's office, explaining what happened and all my previous experiences with B while waiting for my mom to get to the school. I was also very emotional because all my hard work to grow out hair had been foiled. Principal, so what you're saying is that came into the room, cut off your hair and slapped you because you were doing things with B, correct? Me, that's about right. Principal, okay, so how about you wait here for your mother? 10 minutes later, my mom walks in, starts getting angry when she sees my hair because she knows how long it took to grow it all back. The principal quickly briefs the situation to her, and she gets even more heated. Basically, I was suspended for a week. I still don't know why I was suspended, even though I was just defending myself. We were told to come to the school for a meeting with and her family and all the witnesses that next day. So the next day we walk in, and we are guided to a big conference room with a big rectangular table. In it, we were seated directly across from Band and they were both shooting us dirty looks. Also there was another friend of B and principal. Principal recounts this side of the story first. She accused me of attacking her with my fists. When the principal asked why was my hair cut off, says that she grabbed scissors and cut off my hair so I would stop. There are many reasons why that makes no sense, such as the fact that when the principal came into the room, she was still laying in the floor from my punch, so there's no way she could have cut my hair off after I punched her. Also, 26 other people told that she attacked me first. Then speaks up that wild animal attacked my daughter and broke her nose. She deserves to be in jail. Then my mom spoke up. No, your daughter attacked mine and cut off her hair. That's not true. My little angel is innocent. Friend, I saw the cut off all of Alba's hair, so that's not true. This is bullshit. You just paid all these people to lie about this. But it's true. Attacked Alba first. Then Alba defended herself. B, you supposed to be my boyfriend and support me. But not anymore. I'm breaking up with you. With you. B, what? Then starts bawling her eye holes out. And I was trying to hold in my laughter. So was You don't even have any proof that did anything. Actually, that's why I'm here. I recorded everything. Turns out told her what she was doing, and had enough of this crap and recorded everything she had done. I then played the video, and it clearly displayed my side of the story to a T. This video is doctored to make it look bad. Principal. Well, everyone and everything says otherwise, and Principal then turns to me and asks, would you like to press charges against her? Of course, I said yes. Principal then reached out to the police and lets me and my mom file a complaint and press charges and stuff. This part is kinda blurry. The Sunday before I get to go back to school, my mom gets a letter in the mail telling me that we're getting sued for $50,000 for assault. We immediately got an attorney and looked into this and was accusing me of assault and harassment against B, which is ridiculously untrue. Additional information. I ended up pressing charges for assault and stuff like that, and I'm pretty sure she got 4 months in juvenile detention and community service. She also got expelled from school, and she does online now. I didn't want to give her max punishment because I want her to have a chance in life and be able to become a better person and get a job. I was gonna tell you guys what I did against her when we went to court. Someone wanted to know. I also found out that the court date is in a week. See you soon. I've been reading the comment and some of you said to countersue, and I've decided to do just that. I just need to gather my case, and if I win, I will 100 do the warm. Part 2. This story was mostly paraphrased because she had to leave for work in half an hour. My mom's boyfriend and friend all went down to the courthouse yesterday at about 11 on. When we were seated, I was getting my defense and my counterclaim against. I decided that I had a pretty good counterclaim, thanks to you strangers. And was glancing at me like I was gonna lose. Refresher for your brains. Is trying to sue me for $50,000, but little does she know I'm suing for $60,000. So court starts and states her claim by saying that I broke my daughter's nose on purpose and that I owe her for medical bills, emotional trauma, and this plastic surgery. They provide that judge with proof that I died. There was in the courtroom, and the pictures were displayed there. The pictures were of B's broken nose, but it was clearly photoshopped to make it look worse. She tried to Photoshop in more bruises and blood, but she failed miserably. The judge said, are these photos doctored? No, not at all. That's what she did to my baby. Then I spoke up and said, Your Honor, this is photoshopped. I have a copy of the actual photo. The look of shock on his face could have powered an entire city for a couple minutes. Thankfully, I had copied the picture when him gave them to me so I could think about what I've done. Him tried to intervene and say, "Your Honor, you don't have to look at those. Just take my word on it. That one is the doctored one." When the judge looked at my pictures, she asked him, "Why would you bring doctored photos in my courtroom?" They aren't. The judge dismissed the evidence and we moved on. I stated my counterclaim. She caused me emotional pain and physical pain. I showed evidence like the pictures of my hair and stuff like that. Then it was time for the video. When the officer was bringing it in for the video to display, and said, "Your Honor, I have suspicions that that video is doctored." Everyone was shocked because she was the one to bring in photoshopped stuff. The judge ignored her. After the judge and the whole courthouse watched the video, the judge said, "This looks too real to be fake." But it is, trust me. She hit my daughter. Judge, don't raise your voice in my courtroom. But doesn't deserve this. She's a good kid and hit no one. And then had to be escorted out the room. I did nothing to Alba. She hit me in the first place. Judge, but I see you cut her hair and assaulted her first. But she had no valid answer for that. We discussed some other things. It was really boring. The lawyers talked most of the time during this part. Then came the verdict. It's Tuesday now and I'm up $50,000. The judge decided to go from $60,000 to $50,000. And he thought that B's and M's claim was ridiculous, rightfully. M actually lost $60,000 because of the court fees and lawyers and also my lawsuit. I decided against doing the flop in the courtroom, but I did it when I was home. I think I'm going to use the money to go to Nick State, which is the college I wanted to go to ever since I was 13. I took a leap year because I couldn't afford it. So come next August, I'll be high school. I'll put the rest away in the bank. Thank you for all the supportive comments. Entitled mom tried suing me for assault after her controlling entitled kid assaulted me and cut off my hair. Her plan backfired and I won $50,000 and lost $60,000. Again, I would like to say this is not my story. It is just a repost with the original author's permission. Original Part 1 and Original Part 2 are the original posts. Go and update those. This next one is entitled "Im abandons 3 year in my store and tried to pull a poor me act when I told her off. Saw an ATA post which reminded me of this woman. I was a supervisor in a chain of stores in the One night the manager left early, and it was me and 2 other staff members until close. A woman, came into the store with a baby and a 3-year-old. She wandered up and down the aisles until finally approaching me at the till I was covering so my colleague could get her break. Couldn't let the other one cover, as she wasn't allowed to leave her section. Scurried up to me with the pram and 3-year-old in tow and asked if we could let her use the bathroom to change her baby. I apologized and told her we couldn't as our staff is kept back there, and it was for employees only. She pleaded to let her use it, saying she was a single mother and really needed to use it. I repeated myself and told her no with an apology and said she could easily go to the McDonald's. across the road, as they most likely would let her use theirs. She scoffed, saying how the manager always lets her use it, and started wandering about the store again. A few minutes later, I saw her quickly leave the store. I thought, thank God, because I could hear her moaning up and down the aisles. I went back, what I was doing, when I started to hear sobbing followed by ear-piercing screaming. I quickly ran to investigate and found the 3-year-old wandering up and down the sections crying for her mummy. I kneeled down, still having an eye on the tills, and tried to calm the kid down. I told her nicely to follow me and took her to the tills. I was furious at him. Anything could have happened to her innocent little girl. A stranger could have easily left with her, and I wouldn't have noticed. No wonder the kid was so upset. I would be too if I was her. A while after, good 30 to 40 minutes later, showed up with the baby and was all smiles. She saw her daughter and started the whole come on time to go crap with her. I stopped him because I was furious. I told him directly that we are not babysitters. We are a retail business, and I am appalled at the fact she just left her kid here, and how anything could have happened to her, also explaining how upset she was. Instead of getting angry like most ums, she tried the whole poor me act. She began trying and failing to look sad and say how the manager said she said that I was wrong and would look after her daughter and how it wasn't her fault. She continued by saying that I don't understand how hard it is to raise 2 children single-handedly, and how at least my manager understood, followed by how she was going to tell her about the mistreatment and get me fired. She then had a smug look on her face as people watched on, looking angry at me. I just gave a blunt response back. I'm sorry, but my mother had 4 children under the age of 5 and was still able to watch all of us. She never abandoned us once in a store. I know it's hard raising kids by yourself, but abandoning them with strangers is a terrible idea. And as far as your claim that the manager said it was okay, don't lie to my face. He left about 2 hours ago and would never let you do that. My manager was strict. You are talking to the person in charge right now. Em looked pretty shocked. She obviously assumed I was just a girl on the tills. I then told her if she wanted to put in a complaint, she can. She said she did, so I gave her all the details with a smile and informed her that an investigation would be held. She looked pleased until I mentioned that part of the investigation would be to review the camera footage. Looked enraged at that point, grabbed her daughter, and left. I told everyone that the show was over and to carry on with what they were doing. She never complained. Edit. It was obvious she had something to eat while she was out. She had crumbs all over her. Edit 2. Had a nap and went to work. Check my phone and God, there are loads of comments, so I'll clarify a few things. When my colleague got back from break, I checked the ticket to see where Em went. She did go to McDonald's, and I didn't see her leave there. I agree with a lot of comments. I was too nice about it and should have called the police. The good news is the group chat we posted her image in had all the stores in the local area in it, so they were all aware of her and posting updates. The chat is used mainly for logs on shoplifters and criminal activity. Some police are in the group. Edit 3. A lot of comments are telling me about calling the police, and some even saying about how they didn't understand why I wouldn't have done. So I'm going to make a point here. If you have never been in a situation, it is easier to say you would do something differently, but when you are in the situation, you do something different from what you said. That is the case here. Before I used to say, Call the police, for God's sake. It's so obvious when I had no experience in that situation. When this happened, what I said didn't matter. I didn't know what to do. My first instinct was to calm down the child, then investigate where the woman went to. I didn't want to involve the police straight away, as the police are hopeless anyway. A few times an assault like someone getting punched happened, and they didn't show up to investigate until 2 weeks later. I was going to if she didn't show up at all. I did watch her a bit when she was in the McDonald's. If she left and didn't come back, then I would have called. If I left the building, I could lose my job. This next one is entitled Deadpool is a superhero movie and is for kids. First language, Indonesia. Write this on mobile. Happened 2016. A little backstory. The first Deadpool movie were booming back in 2016. This attracted kids and their parent to watch, and of course some em too. Me and the boys went to the nearest cinema to watch it together. It was a very good movie and a bit of adult scene. Fast forward, the movie end. We went outside, and then we see and we'd see lots of them. They are screaming at the worker. This movie is inappropriate for kids, blah, 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 blah. The worker tried to explain to N, this is not a kids-rated movie and not every superheroes movie is for kids. M didn't understand and still screaming at the worker. Poor worker. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, smash the bell, and whatever else our YouTube overlords require nowadays.